Well, in Wales we've developed a very ambitious new Welsh legislation which is called the Wellbeing of Future Generations Act, and this will require both Welsh Government and public bodies, 43 public bodies all over Wales, to think about Welsh society and the commitment to improve society for future generations. And in terms of a common purpose or shared aim, there'll be a shared aim around thinking about the environment, the economy, the culture, and a number of issues that public service will need to address. I think finding a common purpose has been intrinsic to the successful development of the legislation, because the ideas and the themes for the legislation came out of a year-long discussion with the public and many institutions, academia, local government, third sector, all asked, what are the things that really matter to you? And we had what we call the Wales we want. It was a national conversation, and those themes have turned into 7 well-being goals that are now enshrined in the legislation. So the whole of public service will have to work towards meeting and developing objectives that support the well-being goals. So a participatory approach has been essential to getting both an understanding of the Wales we want and enshrining those objectives into legislation. We used sort of online surveys, we had focus groups, we had discussion groups. We actually went to things like big sporting events, big cultural events in Wales, and we asked over 7,000 people actually, what is it, what do you want to see, what is it the Wales that you want? And we just used a variety of methods. We tried to engage with people at all levels, and we also recruited local champions. We asked them to go and speak to the communities and find out what were the main issues for them, and we asked the champions to feed back to Welsh ministers and officials about what the priorities were. So we tried to do it in many different ways. Well, as I said, many of the themes that people came up with, the things that were important to them, have been turned into wellbeing goals. So we have 7 wellbeing goals, and they include things like we want Wales to be a globally responsible society. We want Wales to be more prosperous, more resilient. We want to have connected communities, and we want to have a vibrant culture. We want to have a more equal Wales, and we want to be healthy. And they're the kind of goals that people said that's what they wanted. And the other thing, we involved people when the legislation was going through development and being scrutinised in various committees. Stakeholders and the public were invited to give oral and written evidence about what they felt was really good about the legislation in draft, and what they felt that should be amended or improved. And again, that was the participative process that has shaped the ultimate legislation that we now have.